You're listening to Freedom Talk Radio with your host Andy Peacher, live from the UK. Email us freedomtalkradio2013@gmail.com or visit us at freedomtalkradioonline.com.
Yeah, hello and welcome again to another daily rant. Several daily rants every day. Please subscribe on YouTube. Hit the bell notification if you can. Like and share if you can, and comment. I try and read all your comments. And if you want to join in the show, we'll talk about anything. Email me, fintalkradio2013@gmail.com. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about the mayor elections that are being delayed because they just want to make up super mayors now. So mayors are going to join different counties and they're going to make up a super mayor. So Labour government thinks that we need to delay the elections. Elections for newly created mayors will be delayed in 4 more areas of England, the BBC has confirmed, pushing back regional devolution plans. So now they want to be like Glasgow, do they? They want to run their own areas, and then when they've had enough and they can't afford to keep people safe and happy and lower taxes, they run back to central government. Well, good luck with that one then. New mayors were expected to be elected in Greater Essex, Norfolk and Suffolk, Hampshire and the Solent, and Sussex and Brighton in May next year, but will now have to wait until 2028. Yeah, that's like 2.5 years away. Does that make sense? Why are Labour thinking 2.5 years from now? Hang on. What you should be thinking is get the votes then, especially if you're going to have a general election by 29, 30, get the voters then. Because what you're going to do now is piss people off, and there'll be no votes in 2028 for these mayors. But they're not thinking straight. They don't think long-term, these politicians. They think now because they're greedy now. They want to do it now, and then who cares about the future? Well, people do. The British people, the elected people in the UK care. That's why, yeah. Don't say it, because you're a naughty boy if you do. The government is arguing that more time is needed to reorganise local government in these areas, but stressed more homes, better high streets, and support for businesses were all on the way. Well, I think we've got a crisis already, so I don't know if any of that's going to work. Better homes, better high streets. You haven't seen these areas, especially in Greater Essex, Sussex and Brighton, Hampshire and the Solent. I'm not sure about Norfolk and Suffolk. That's my home area, Norfolk and Suffolk, but you won't see the high streets in these other areas. They're not a very nice place to be, and there's one reason for it, which I'll leave it to your imagination. The government obviously needs more time, but opposition parties are calling for the elections to go ahead as planned, with Shadow Local Government Secretary Sir James cleverly accused Labour of subverting democracy. Speaking to broadcasters in Scotland, Sir Keir Starmer was asked if the delays were effectively cancelling democracy. He responded, no, there are various arguments being put in place to ensure all the elections could take place at the right time, depending on the configurations of the council of arrangements. The new mayors are part of a simplified local government arrangement aimed at reducing the number of councils by merging district and county authorities to create unitary authorities. Groups of unitary authorities will be headed up by new mayors, who will be handed more funding, extra powers to run their area, intended to hand greater power back to communities. Devolution is the word. However, the body representing the district councils warned at the time that the plans could spark turmoil and argued mega councils could undermine local decision making. Exactly. If you're in, say, Suffolk, in Ipswich, and the mayor decides, because he lives there, he wants to make Ipswich and Suffolk better than Norfolk and Norwich, then you've got yourself a problem, haven't you, if it's a super mayor. Earlier this year, 18 councils requested a delay to their planned mayor elections due to incomplete reorganisation into 8 authorities, and critics are concerned the announcement of delays to mayor elections could lead to further elections being cancelled. Well, get your act together. Why should we have to wait until 2028 for these areas? It is a voting tactic by the Labour government, and that's why they're being criticised. But I suggest they're not thinking ahead. They're not thinking of the future. What they're trying to do is do the now bit. Remember, COVID-19, SARS-2, the lockdowns, unnecessary lockdowns. We'll find out more information on other videos. But listen, the elections, will start for 1 year during COVID, when there was an international crisis of health, and everybody had to stay indoors and stay healthy. But because mayors can't organise their own areas, or local government and national government can't organise the areas, you have to stop the elections for 2 years. But during COVID, when it was a very serious thing, according to the government, they only reduced the elections for 1 year. What do you think to that then, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? I know, but don't tell me. Do the comments. Subscribe on YouTube. And share the video if you can. Like, comment. And again, if you want to email me, please do so. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks to all the wonderful subscribers in the last 10 days since I've been doing this. Thanks very much. I don't want to make no money. It's not about the money. It's about bringing the knowledge to the people. And thanks to people who are on the freedom of speech, Unite the Kingdom, and other organisations. God bless, and we'll talk again very soon.
Lots of boys said lots of things they'd regret today or simply just laugh at. And the double standards from the BBC this morning were wholly unacceptable. Now, a generic question cropped up in an article in the Times that popped up to my surprise last night, which basically said that people within Reform were advising me that I should reach out to Robert Jenrick. And I get people in Reform urging and advising me every day to reach out to sporting figures, to reach out to business figures, to reach out to media figures, to reach out to political figures. And have one or two suggested I should reach out to Jenrick? Yes, they have, because they believe that his conversion from being the Remainer Robert Jenrick to being what he is today is a genuine one. And I don't know, but if it is a genuine one, I'd be more than happy to talk to him. Okay. Right, we've got a couple more to go through. Lucy Dunn from The Spectator.
Hi, Nigel. You talked earlier about the need for nominated figures in the whole area of turning votes. So, in that case, why wouldn't you choose and announce leaders of the Welsh and Scottish Reform Party ahead of the and Senate election? Are you worried about being overshadowed? And just
oh, please. Please.
The one has received obviously everything information. What are you going to spend on?
You clearly think I'm some sort of narcissistic loon, who won't allow anybody else in the party to have any profile at all. If you actually watch broadcast media, you'll see I rarely appear now. I'm more than happy, for Richard Tice, for Zia, Lila Cunningham, for others, David Bull, for others, to go out and appear on, TV debate programmes, phone-in radio. Sarah does quite a bit of it too. Danny a bit less so, because he's behind the scenes working on, our big plan going ahead. I want as much talent in the party as possible. And I absolutely can't wait for somebody who's better looking, younger, more intelligent and more articulate than me. And when that person comes along, I will recognise it and I will know it and I'll be delighted because I can get back down the pub or do whatever else I want to do. But for the moment, I'm going to spearhead this, I'm going to lead this, and I've got 30 years of experience and nobody else in Britain knows how to start and build a political party from scratch. If Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana had come to me, things might have been very different for their organisation. I'm in Scotland on Saturday, and I think there'll be a story or two that your magazine will want to cover. Midday, Saturday, Falkirk, McDonald Hotel. See you there. Archie Earl from Unheard with 3 more.
All the Reform MPs were below recently on American journalist Tucker Carlson's podcast. Did you reject the chance to go on the podcast before he went on?
I've known Tucker for a very, very long time. I used to appear quite regularly on his Fox News show. He even once said I was his favourite foreigner. But relations between us have cooled a little in recent times. Thank you. Rowena Mason from The Guardian.
There seems to be repeated
Oh, play the Joker, double it, go on.
Are you saying that they have a different interpretation of events that actually...
Recollections may vary after half a century. Thank you. Let's go on to the last one. Sophie Hutchinson from the Daily Mirror.
You read the letter from your school friend.
I did.
Thank you for that, which says that you did say offensive things at school.
I say them every day.
Whether they were with malice or not, deliberately.
I've said offensive things today. There we are.
Will you apologise to the people for the offence you caused?
If I genuinely thought I'd hurt somebody, I would apologise, of course. I've never, ever, ever in my nature been a bully of any kind at all, and I would never wish to. And I look forward to a proper apology for homophobia, sexism and racism coming from our national broadcaster. Yes?
Mr Farage, can I ask you...
Yep, hand the book. Yep. You weren't on the list.
I am on the list.
What have you got now?
What should happen, Mr Farage, to Councillor Ian Cooper, Somerset County Council Reform Leader, who said has posted messages racist, hurtful, abusive, profiling people like David Lammy and Sadiq Khan? What should happen to him?
I discovered this at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I was slightly shocked that there appeared to be a social media account which had not been declared to us, and part of vetting is people have to be honest with us and declare what social media accounts they've had. And, you know, with candidates, whether they're candidates or elected, you can deal with problems in their past, whatever they might be, personal, you name it, but you have to know what they are. So I made a snap decision at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon that we had to go through due process. All I would say is it doesn't look very good.
Should he be suspended?
We're going through due process. All I can say is it doesn't look very good. We expect our people to be truthful with us, and if they're truthful with us, we'll be honourable towards them. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. No, I'm going.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Absolutely, utterly astonishing. I've never seen anything like that. That was Nigel Farage channeling his inner Donald Trump. The safety catch was off, the gloves were off, the filter was off. That was right between the eyes. I'm here with Chris Hope. Chris, where do we start? For me, there are at least 10 major news lines came out of this. The first one was a blistering attack on the BBC. The BBC once again demanding Nigel Farage apologise for those comments of 50 years ago. He turned the gun straight on the BBC earlier on today. Emma Barnett asked Richard Tice about the comments, was Hitler right? Nigel Farage steamed into the BBC demanding they apologise for their output in the 1970s, the black and white minstrels, the homophobia. He absolutely went for them right between the eyes, and in fact he said, until they apologise, I'm not talking to them again.
So is that a ban on BBC talking to Nigel Farage? Let's wait and see. It ain't half hot, mum. He was saying, I think he should be saying this, frankly, week last Monday when he did that first. I think this was that misstep with that when he refused to confirm or deny what he said 50 years ago. It was a different world. People were cruel at school, and he had a letter there. He read it out, a letter, didn't he, from a school friend?
He said he had willingly from half a dozen former classmates at Dulwich College supporting Nigel Farage.
That's
of course,
right.
This one was from a Jewish schoolmate.
And one of them saying there that yes, you know, it was offensive what was said amongst school boys, probably including Farage in that, but it wasn't with malice, and that's the key point. And he was trying to put into context by naming, he also named Bernard Manning on ITV, and he named also Love Thy Neighbour with Alf Garnett, that was on ITV. So it says it was on the main broadcasters. It was very fruity and difficult language for modern day Britain.
Because the ITV questioner there tried